Okay, so passing by reference versus passing by value. As we all know, when we call a function, we pass it arguments, such as int x down here. And what we've been doing up till now is what's called passing by value. So when foo is called up here, it receives a copy of this integer x. So now within foo, it can only deal with a copy of it. It can multiply it by 30, change it to 0, whatever. It only changes foo's copy, and when foo returns, this x remains exactly as it was. So for example, if I had, say, a piece of paper and I wanted to call u by value, I would get an identical piece of paper and hand it to you. So then you could scribble on it, cut it up, do whatever you want to it, but my original piece of paper remains exactly the same. Whether I get it back from you or not, my original paper is still identical. So passing by reference is a little bit different. So if I put an ampersand here and a star here, which they're not working, but anyway, it's meant to be a star and an ampersand there. So now foo would be given a reference to this integer x. So instead of given a copy of it, it would be given its address in memory. So now whatever foo does to the integer x that the reference is pointing to will directly affect this integer up here. So if it sets it to 2, for example, and then you wanted to print x down here, even though you haven't said x equals foo because it returns void, even though you haven't done anything like that, it will print x as 2 because you passed by reference. So back to the sheet analogy, if I had a sheet of paper and I called by reference, I would give you that exact sheet of paper, and then you can draw on it, cut it up or anything, and I can only watch you do it. And then I get it back at the end, whatever you've done to it. So in summary, passing by reference gives a function access to the literal variable, whereas passing by value only gives it a copy.